Today we'll see how stocks and bonds are failing, whales are moving, and Justin Sun posted early this morning to slam the tyranny of WLFI. From the peak of the White House to frozen assets, life changes so fast. From bananas to space, is Justin Sun a genius or just overdrawing his credit? Thursday, April 16th. This is BTV Chinese channel CoinChain and I'm Michael. Our program is broadcast daily in Vietnam, Japan, Korea, Thailand, Spain, and English-speaking regions, synchronized by local anchors in their native languages. Let's first look at the most important 24-hour crypto data summary, sponsored by NEXO. NEXO is one of the world's most compliant crypto trading platforms, and it's now in Asia. But it's not just a simple exchange. Its goal is to help major Asian clients achieve efficient circulation and value growth of their digital assets through staking, lending, and daily spending without selling, all while remaining compliant and managing risk. So scan the QR code on the screen. Besides permanent long-term transaction fee discounts, there's also a deposit bonus of up to $5,000. Friends who deposit successfully can use their UID to join our Sunday livestream lucky draw. The top prize is 1,000 USDT. Alright, let's look at today's data summary. There are two simultaneous changes in the market. On one hand, stocks and bonds are moving together. The old 60-40 allocation logic is failing. So, capital is seeking new tools, and Bitcoin is being re-examined. The Coinbase premium also shows that institutions are indeed buying, but it hasn't fully followed the VIX, showing some independence. On the other hand, US stocks are hitting new highs. The S&P has reached 7,020, yet Bitcoin is still 40% below its peak, trading sideways. It feels like it's decoupling from US stocks, which is very critical. This shows that macro factors aren't driving the crypto market. Instead, the crypto space lacks capital and sentiment. It's not that the outside is weak, but that the internal momentum is insufficient. But if liquidity continues to improve and capital returns, Bitcoin has significant room for a catch-up rally. So there's a key on-chain signal now. The Binance whale ratio has hit 0.49. This is the highest since 2017, meaning half of the Bitcoin flowing into the exchange comes from large holders. Meanwhile, after dropping from 127,000, Bitcoin is now stuck trading sideways between 63,000 and 74,000. The number of whales is increasing, but the price isn't rising. That's a bit off, right? Usually this means big money is moving chips into exchanges, either preparing to sell or to hedge. Historically, whenever this indicator is high, a market dump usually follows. So at this level, watch out. If whales start offloading, the $63,000 support level could easily be broken. At 2:16 a.m. today, Justin Sun posted a long thread on X, directly attacking the WLFI governance proposal and labeling it as world-class tyranny. He raised 5 core issues. Opposing means locking up funds, which is coercion, large holders are selectively frozen, the voting pool was pre-cleared, and real power is held by anonymous multi-sig holders, bypassing all votes. Voters must use their real names, yet those in power can remain completely anonymous. Ultimately, using a so-called vote to decide the fate of billions in assets is essentially a redistribution of property rights. Coincidentally, a recent image perfectly explains this logic. The community voted for black 89% to 11%, but then the founder simply said, "I like yellow," and with his own vote it flipped to 96%. So Justin Sun believes this isn't governance, it's writing the result beforehand and then using a vote to select it. The formality. Now that Brother Sun is taking on the Trump group, let's look back at how his character was formed along the way. Actually, Brother Sun's greatest strength isn't what he's done, but his constant ability to create a stage for himself. Do you remember his lunch with Warren Buffett in 2019? That was the first time he inserted himself into the mainstream global financial narrative. On the surface, he spent over $4 million on a meal ticket, right? But simply put, he used cold hard cash to buy into the world's most solid business icon, Warren Buffett. One represents the strongest credit in traditional capital. The other is the crypto world's top hype man. Putting those names together creates instant news value. It wasn't about what Buffett taught or said. It's that from that moment, Justin Sun found an effective path for upward mobility.
CNBC reported on June 4, 2019, that Justin Sun won the Warren Buffett charity lunch with a record bid of about $4.57 million. That figure alone was enough to become a viral sensation. But more importantly, he forcibly inserted a crypto entrepreneur into the mainstream business narrative represented by Buffett.
In 2019, I won the bid for the Buffett lunch. I feel it was truly significant for my life. And I think it was also very significant for Buffett's life. And for me, in terms of seizing this opportunity, well, it was also extremely significant for my life.
However, on July 23rd of that year, the lunch was postponed for health reasons. The buzz didn't fade. Instead, it kept the event in the global media spotlight. By the time the lunch finally happened on January 23, 2020, it wasn't just a meeting, but a long-term display of Justin Sun's ability to enter elite business circles.
Really, sometimes I joke that you never know which will come first, tomorrow or an accident. It's truly that kind of concept. I won the Buffett lunch in 2020. I had it with Buffett in January. The lunch. Right after that, the pandemic hit. With the pandemic, how could there be another chance? There just wasn't anymore.
So looking back, it seems that with the Warren Buffett lunch, Justin Sun tested a strategy. First, spend money to buy a symbol, then create events to grab attention, and finally, control the pace to keep the hype going. A single move, like a lunch, can be turned into a long-term narrative. So from that moment on, Justin Sun stopped caring about slow growth within the industry. Instead, he constantly leveraged bigger names to elevate himself. Jack Ma's disciple, the multi-million-dollar banana going to space, ringing the NASDAQ bell. To me, these are all just different chapters of the same script. But that's also the problem. This strategy is essentially about amplification. Amplifying success creates a legend, but amplifying risk leads to a backlash. Before Justin Sun set the pace, now the pace is dragging him along. On the flip side, public opinion might end up defining his value. If we look at it as a script, the lawsuit with World Food Program isn't a failure or a falling out. I think it's just where the story has led.
The piece itself was highly controversial, but what really made it go viral was when he ate the banana at a public event in Hong Kong a week later. This act was practically designed for virality, a high price, an absurdity, and a behavioral conflict that broke through all social circles. The media began debating why someone would spend $6 million on a banana. Even regular users got involved, as the discussion spread from crypto to Xiaohongshu, Douyin, and Weibo. The whole internet was talking about it. I'll ask you just to take your bite, please. Does. On August 3, 2025, Justin Sun completed a suborbital flight aboard Blue Origin. He had purchased the ticket back in 2021 for about $28 million, waiting nearly 4 years to finally use it. As space tourism became a global hot topic again, this move hit the peak of public interest. He didn't just complete a flight, he earned a new title, the youngest Chinese commercial astronaut. At that moment, he was no longer just a crypto figure, but part of a larger narrative of future technology. I am Justin Sun. This is me since I am dreamt to be in the space.
So these two events might look different, but they're the same strategy. One absurd, one futuristic, both grabbing attention. Justin Sun doesn't chase trends. He creates them, using one topic to overshadow another, always staying at the center of the conversation. Assets used to be products and profits, but in this strategy, the asset is the ability to be talked about. Think about it. The banana is emotion, right? Space is imagination. Every move is a calculated step to amplify his influence.
In November 2024, Justin Sun paid about $6.24 million for a work by Italian artist Maurizio Catalan, a banana duct taped to a wall.
So Sun will never disappear, not because of many products, but because the entry point is constantly being remade. But that's also the problem. Once a product becomes about attention, then volatility will also be amplified. This is the first half for Sun, and at this stage, he's still trying to create topics and spark some discussion, but the second half is noticeably more direct. Sun no longer creates his own traffic, but instead he just stands next to larger sources of traffic. And this isn't a random choice, it's a very effective path, seeing who has more attention, who can represent a higher status symbol, who can push it to a larger narrative center, and that's where he leans. From capital markets to political symbols and then to scenes of power, Sun is constantly switching positions, but the goal is always the same, to stand at the very core.
In July 2025, Tron rang the bell at NASDAQ in New York, officially entering the mainstream US capital market. The significance of this move was not in financing, but in status. Moving from an on-chain project into the Wall Street system is essentially a coordinate shift, meaning it's no longer just a crypto industry participant, but placed in the core field of global capital narrative.
I dream to found a NASDAQ-listed companies.
During the same period, Justin Sun became a large holder of Trump-related assets, with an investment scale of about $18.5 million. The key to this step is not the return, but the binding symbol. Trump is not just an asset, but a strong political label, directly connecting capital behavior to the power narrative, extending it from the business field to the political field.
With all the crypto people getting together in the United States and actually doing crypto, that's honestly the very best thing I could ever even imagine in my entire life. So I think I was basically, kind of like a really vivid and clear example to actually. President Trump said before, right? Like, when I come to United States, like, everybody gonna come here. So yeah, so I'm honestly just really, truly appreciative of, like, absolutely everything.
In May 2025, Justin Sun was invited to a White House-related dinner and secured a core seat. On this occasion, he received a gold Tourbillon watch gifted by Trump. Subsequently, he posted related content high-profile on social platforms, an action quickly amplified by the market. From an investor's perspective, this is not just a gift, but a signal of a direct connection with power.
Because the president gave it to me, it's very, very precious, so I put it on right away.
Brother Sun isn't just making a single breakthrough, he's stacking labels, allowing himself to exist in different narratives simultaneously. So to many, it seems quite erratic. But the logic is solid. This isn't just chasing trends, it's deliberately aligning with massive traffic, symbols, and scenes. But that's also where the problem lies. Once this path is built on symbols, if those symbols fluctuate, the backlash will be just as intense. We're getting a bit deep in this episode. If the previous path was about constantly amplifying personal influence, then this is where the issues start to surface. In the past, the advantage of this model was stacking traffic, symbols, and power all onto oneself. But when the individual, the project, power dynamics, and market sentiment are all tied to the same string, once a problem arises, what gets amplified is no longer opportunity, but risk. It may no longer be a localized public debate, but evolve into a systemic amplification. This is the necessary condition for the backlash to begin.
Looking at the timeline, this backlash happened very quickly. From November 2024 to January 2025, Justin Sun invested about $75 million into World Liberty Financial, tying himself to the Trump narrative and completing his power binding. In March 2025, he appeared on the cover of the English edition of Forbes, completing his transition from notorious to elite. His reputation seemed to be on the rise. In September 2025, the turning point came. The built-in guardian authority of World Liberty Financial froze about $107 million of his assets. The power structure reversed into a source of risk. In February 2026, Zhang Ying released allegations with evidence, and the situation moved directly from public controversy into a stage of structural risk. Now, with the SEC and FBI stepping in, the rules of the game have shifted from a PR war to a legal war.
As the situation escalates, past criticisms of Brother Sun are being unearthed and amplified. For instance, He Xiaopeng, the CEO of Xpeng Motors, once bluntly suggested that Brother Sun was suspected of being a fraud. Liu Yang, CEO of Fangxing Group, publicly called him a high-IQ swindler. But the most impactful was the direct assessment from Li Xiaolai, known as China's richest Bitcoin holder, in a private 2018 recording.
Justin Sun.
Yeah.
That goes without saying, he's definitely a con artist.
Right?
Is that right?
Yes.
Holy crap, 140 peaking at a market cap of 14.1 billion. Anyone would be stunned.
Yeah.
Stunned to what extent? Even knowing he's a fraud, people are too embarrassed to call him out, fearing others will call them idiots.
Right? In the past, no one listened to this because the market was up. The ability to make money covered everything. But it's different now. We've noticed that the international media's tone is also shifting, questioning his credibility, his investments, the freezes, the reports, and the public reversal. If these all hit at once, it's no longer an isolated incident, but an entire chain of risk. With the SEC and FBI now involved, it's moved from public opinion to a war over rules. The structure once held up by storytelling is now being reevaluated. Simply put, Brother Sun used to turn traffic into assets, but now that traffic has turned into a burden. Of course, those who used to bash Brother Sun are gone, but he's still here. Some say any publicity is good publicity, but when the backlash starts eating into the gains, it's not just a sudden setback, it's that this strategy has reached its final stages.
Solana memes continue to skyrocket. Fair Doge hits new highs. BTC is flat with no story. Retail investors are going all in on altcoins. This isn't an opportunity, it's risk piling up. On X, insider signals are being sold again, fleecing people at high prices, only to backfire. The tricks haven't changed, and neither have the people. The most consistent thing in crypto is fleecing retail. Every time a ceasefire is expected, the market breathes a sigh of relief. GameFi is taking off, ENJ is up 50%, risk is back. But these trends usually come and go quickly. Layer 2 is strengthening, STRK is leading, BTC is stagnant, so capital seeks new directions. The scaling sector might be warming up for the next wave. After the hype, it's clear many DAOs are just centralized entities in disguise. Now, it's not about believing in decentralization, but guarding against it.
Alright, that's all for today's analysis. Our channel doesn't just report the news, we help you break down the structure and see the essence. If you find our logic helpful, remember to follow us and consider joining our membership. All the membership benefits are listed there. We hope our insights help you understand the crypto world more deeply. From Monday to Friday, we'll review the market with you to find certain opportunities within the trends. See you tomorrow.